I want to shift gears a little bit with my last question, and then we're going to go out to the audience. And I want to come back to where you ended your remarks. And you said something that I think many people in this room would agree with, which is that, and you referenced our slide, getting our CEOs more engaged, building this leadership commitment at the top. I know one of the primary questions on the minds of a lot of people here is, yep, got it, couldn't agree more. How do we go about doing that?
All right.
So we want your tricks. How do we do this?
So the best trick is this. Don't tell them I told you. The best trick is this. Without any shadow of a doubt, in 3 to 5 years, we will have mandatory reporting on issues like climate change and sustainability. In the same way we have financial mandatory reporting. And I'll tell you a little story because it brings the message home. In the UK, routinely, industry murdered every year 15,000 people in what was called business accidents. And it was a matter of life, you know, it happens. Then the government did something which was very, very smart. They said, we want you to include in your annual report your safety records in the organization. And the chairman needs to sign that. So the chairman, coming still hot from his activities on the golf course, came back and says, what do I have to sign here, Johnny? And Johnny said, well, certainly, sir, but we murdered this year 5 people. And he would say, but what do I say to my colleagues at the golf course that I was doing? And therefore, he said to the CEO, make sure next year that the number is 0. And actually, that changed totally the focus of management. And I believe last year it was below 100. So a massive change that took place by the simple fact of transparency. So if I were you, I would go back to your CEO and say, we went to a great conference. The thing that is very important for you to know is that there will be mandatory, transparent reporting, not in the marketing sense of the word, we are a blah-blah type of report. No, we have to go and have reporting based on standards that are internationally verified. And that means that we as an organization better prepare, otherwise 3 years from now, you will find that you are in a position you don't want to be in. Self-interest. Create self-interest. That is the way. And I thought it was not just 50% for the CEO, it was also board level engagement on CSR, 41%. Another very good trick is to get that little board committee, and on the board you always find 1 or 2 people who love this stuff, to go and be on the CSR committee. If you have a CSR committee, all of a sudden there is no escape for senior management to take it very, very serious. That's what they do with everything from the board.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. We'd like to go out to the floor now, and as usual, we have mic runners. We need a hand up. There's no way Ben has answered all of your questions. I don't believe it.
It's always difficult to have the first question, so you should start with the second.
Could I have a second question, please? Oh, no, there we go.
Hello there.
Could we hear your name and your organization as well, please?
Yes, hi. My name is Shauna Rappaport. I am a master's student studying environmental communication at the University of Southern California, an alumni of the University of Amsterdam. My question for you, at this conference the last couple of days, these conversations about innovation and leadership and how integral, especially in the corporate world, kind of international collaboration is going to be in moving us forward and creating these big leaps and actually successfully creating this big change. And my question to you is, especially coming from the very unique background that you have of having done so much work in so many countries, what is that going to look like? I mean, we have a room full of people here who are passionate enough about these issues that they're taking steps forward, but how are we actually going to bring forward that leadership that we need, and especially in our young people, in higher education, where my peers, so many of my peers, are so passionate about these issues, but not being provided the platform that they need to step forward and make those changes. What are we going to be seeing in the next 5 years and 10 years, both nationally and internationally, to help support that leadership?
So it's a very, very good question. And I'm afraid that I'm not going to picture an ideal situation for you, because I think what you will see is a patchwork. You will see examples where people are totally in denial, massively in denial. You will see that. And you will see others where they are passionate about it and go forward and fail. It's not that everybody who's seen the light will therefore be glorious at the end of the day. Unfortunately, justice doesn't work that way. So what you will see is that there will be great examples and there will be great failures. That always happens when you get transformational change. And the world is going through transformational change. It is also on, let me give you an example. The president of Brazil was the most left-wing president they ever had. And he is the best business president the country ever had. So on paper, it looked like a disaster for business, and it turned out to be an absolute brilliant move, because he brings together the forces that were opposing each other and brings solutions. A very pragmatic way of doing it. The public debate needs to be influenced. And my view is that public debate is not the exclusive territory of politicians. If we leave it just to the politicians, politics is local. If your voters are in Ohio, your scope will be Ohio. That's it. And if you do something for the world, well, you better explain why it's good for Ohio in the first place. And we need to break through. How can we break through? By having the debate, not just by politicians, by getting society involved. You're part of society. You're an important part of society. I haven't heard you. I haven't heard the voice of change loud and clear. I haven't seen my colleagues in business loud and clear. Yeah, here and there. But what we need is society at large, and not just in the US and not just in Europe, but on a global basis, to participate in the choices that we're going to make. Because the choices will be painful. Even if you come out at the other end smelling, it still will be painful. And here's the issue. I think that if we wait for somebody to stand up and give you the solution, it will be a very long wait. This is about acting right now in your own environment. Whether you're a student, whether you are working in an organization, whether you're a business leader, you have to act right now. And the only thing that I know of to help that process happening is transparency. Making sure that those who are silent don't stay silent in isolation, but are silent in the public eye.